Welcome to Assbutt.
Ben made eye contact with me when he started. Ben made eye contact with me when he started saying that, and I'm still uncomfortable.
Like, I turned up your mic level because you were kind of far away, and then you started doing that.
Oh God, Ben, stop!
Oh goddamn.
Hey,
That's what you get.
Yeah.
stop it!
Fucking Will.
I know, right? Will, God, I think we
Hey,
talked about this
Will,
last episode.
Now that you're back in Huntsville, fuck you.
But like, all right. So as we're recording this podcast,
Now that you've moved back,
there's
Just
a
kidding.
show for a going away show for him.
Yeah.
For Mr. Weiniger.
Sunday.
It's coming Sunday, but by the time this episode comes back, we genuinely believe that you will be back in Huntsville or making plans to come back to.
Maybe
Huntsville.
that's just a dream is a wish your heart makes.
Yeah.
A situation. Maybe we're just Cinderella.
We just don't want Will to
Scrubbing
leave.
floors. Yeah. Except I do want Will to leave so that he can't make me sick anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Take your disease-ridden body.
He was still sick when I saw him yesterday.
Oh,
Really?
my God.
Like he was still coughing like me.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, even I have stopped, like, hacking my lungs out.
Yeah, even I feel pretty good.
I still have a bit of a cough because my congestion, like, drains into my chest like that, and I'm hacking out phlegm, but it's not, like,
You know,
an
like
uncontrollable...
yeah, it's not like what I just did.
I
Yeah.
feel so much better that when Travis said good morning to me this morning, I broke out into song and tap dance. Like,
yeah. She actually started tap dancing. Like, it was amazing.
I'm very talented. I'm an all right tap dancer. Really into jazz, though.
Okay. Ben and Ari both started doing jazz hands, which none of y'all could hear. There needs to be a sound effect for
You
jazz.
can't hear my-
It needs to be like a
Like a little bell.
no, it's just you need to hear the sound effect. It's like ASMR.
All right, guys.
I feel like we're just jerking ourselves off.
Jazz
Guys,
hand sound.
we just tried,
Like jizz hands.
all three of us separately, as separate entities, just tried to create sound from jazz hands.
Yeah,
We are great.
I'm a Foley artist.
We're fucking dorks. Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
Who do you think did the sound design on all those skits? Me.
Please come up with the noise for jazz hands, Travis.
I will.
The jazz hands
I'll make it
noise.
My favorite thing about Foley artists and like doing sound effects is like how ridiculous it can be.
Yeah.
Because there are things where it's like, I can't remember what movie it was, but it was there was a scene where there was like a bunch of people on a boat.
Yeah.
And there was literally just like a guy in a studio with microphones pointing at him in like a slick yellow like raincoat.
Yeah.
And big boots, and he just like squinched and squatched his boots and coats and stuff to make the noises.
Oh.
And it's amazing.
There's this great...
And it gets even crazier. If there's a car crash scene, they will go out to a field with two like junker cars and a crane. And instead of like driving them into each other, they pick up one car with the crane, drop it on top of the other one to get the crash sound.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I am sexually excited.
Car crashes
Right?
don't even sound like car crashes in real life.
I know.
There's this great Comedy Central video that's like, hey, I'm the Foley artist for all the Bachelor and Bachelorette
Yes.
series.
Oh my god.
And I'm
It was
really into my work.
amazing.
And it's just him like making out with a watermelon, like making gross, like
yeah, like the kissy noises and shit.
that sound over and over again. It's amazing.
Yeah, Foley is really fun.
The true heroes of cinema.
If you want to contact me about doing sound design on a project, you can reach me on Twitter at actuallytall or tinthetreehouse@gmail.com.
We are
Or
sluts
Mr.
for
T
sound.
Time.
Yeah.
sorry I died.
Now everyone's gonna fucking email me.
Travis is a slut for sound, so
Yo,
make that happen for him.
For real.
It's the only way he feels
He is
true
a
happiness.
sound whore.
He's
He's a pretty woman for pretty down sound design.
Yeah.
the world's oldest profession,
And
making
like-
weird noises in America.
Foley artist.
And honestly, this podcast doesn't even sound that good. I want it to be better. I want it to be better. I don't have money for microphones.
All right, JK.
Please hire me to be a sound designer
Please give us money.
so I can get money to buy more microphones for this podcast.
Also, we want to
We-
buy more cat toys for our cats, so
That
please
too.
do that.
They don't have enough toys.
They don't have enough
They
toys.
got like a couple little mice.
They're very bored, and we feel bad about that.
Yeah, they fight all the
It's
time.
because they're cats.
They deserve to be happier. Shut
Yeah.
up, Ben.
Yeah.
You don't even know what you're...
I do, but I want to do the Rooster Teeth thing, and we just do an ASMR podcast.
Yeah. Oh God.
But I feel like that would be terrible because me and surround sound. Jesus Christ.
Hey, welcome to Hey Assbutt. This is the ASMR
We're going to talk about Supernatural today.
Let's role play and pretend we're at the barber.
I'm just gonna take my finger,
I actually,
gently run them through your hair. Also, I'm gonna take my sawed-off shotgun and shoot the ghost that's behind you.
I love this podcast.
We have fun here.
We have fun here.
Oh God, there's so many
Playing
cats and legs under the table. Trying to stretch out my legs.
Ben
I'm
and
like,
Ari
no.
are constantly playing footsie
We
on this
really
show.
are.
By the
There we
way,
go.
Thank you, Ben.
like
Just keep
I
going.
sit on one end of the table and they sit across from each other, and they are constantly like rubbing their feet together.
I'm sorry, I'm
You know what they
mostly
say? If our
led.
feet touch, we fuck. So
Hey,
don't put your foot on my lap.
there we go.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
for me, touching someone's foot with my foot is basically like fucking. So.
We both have
get
shoes on today, so it's not as
weird.
gross as it usually is. It's usually my bare feet touching Ben's disgusting shoes.
Yeah.
You nasty.
Yeah.
These
Nah, he's
shoes
fine.
are old, but
are
they're nice.
old as balls.
Yeah.
My shoes are new and delightful.
Look how worn down the bottom of these shoes are.
Great. More visual jokes.
More visual gags.
They're not that worn down.
Yeah, they are.
They're fine.
These shoes are 10 years old.
They got some tread.
Damn, I got some shoes that are 10 years old. They got holes in the bottom of them.
Hey.
Yeah, they're
My
still in
shoes
my
have holes
closet.
in them too. in the
I
top.
don't know if I just walk hard.
All right, Dewey Cox.
I walk hard in all avenues of my life because I cannot make a pair of shoes last longer than like a year at best.
Wow.
Yeah. I always walk holes into them or tear the sides, or like if they're flats, I just like break them in half. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can generally hold on to a pair of shoes for about 2 or 3 years.
That's amazing to me.
Yeah.
Like, are you a wizard?
Well,
are you a
I-
cobbler? What's happening?
I also spend like $150 on a pair of shoes.
I don't.
Yeah, see, that is a big thing. If you buy a pair of $12 shoes, they'll last.
Okay, well they're not $12.
Basically, like every.
They're a hearty $15.50.
Okay. Yeah, so every
I'm not a cheapskate, Travis.
every dollar you spend on a shoe amounts to a month of shoe life.
Okay.
I think.
Here's the thing.
That makes sense.
Here's Travis. Here's the fucking thing.
What's that?
I can't spend all my money on shoes because I also have to buy bras.
You're right.
And that shit is expensive.
See, I don't have to buy any bras,
You-
so I can
men
spend all that
really
money on
save
shoes.
quite a bit of money because, first of all, everything for you is cheaper anyways.
Yeah.
Except for like ladies drink free night, so whatever. Fuck off. And two, you don't have to split your shoe money into your bra fund.
Yeah. Bras are a scam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, are you telling me.
Damn, some of them are pretty though.
Boy, are you telling me.
Let me bounce a joke off you guys that I just came up with. I walk the walk, but I don't talk the talk because I find it tough to talk when I have an erection.
What?
That was
What?
okay. That was a Dewey Cox joke because walk hard.
Right.
Oh,
It's too heady. I need more sleep.
it's not. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
jump.
It's a jump. Yeah.
It's a jump and a skip and a.
And you bump your fucking dick on the way out. Yeah.
All right. So
drink more
speaking of
coffee.
jokes. Speaking of jokes.
Speaking of jokes.
Speaking of jokes.
Speaking of jokes.
Speaking of which.
We're all comedians.
Yeah.
We all get up on
we,
stage.
We do comedy.
That last joke says otherwise.
Yeah.
I didn't say we were funny comedians.
Fair enough.
I said we were comedians. Technically, sometimes we get up on stage. People will pay us to tell original material that we have written that sometimes has a setup and a punchline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we haven't really, like, we've talked about comedy some on this podcast.
Yeah.
But only in the most, like,
vague and ambiguous.
yeah,
words.
like, we will mention that we are comics, or, like, we'll be like, hey, we got a show coming up that will definitely have passed by the time this episode is released.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we're telling you.
I was actually talking about that with someone last night. I think it was Elliot. And he was like, oh, so you guys can't, like, plug your own shows at all.
Nope.
I was like, no.
What
It
we can
sucks.
what we can do is be like, you have our names, look us up on Facebook. We will put our shows there.
Yeah, that's
and that
what
is
we do.
it.
We could put like a show announcement in the break or something, like record it and then before we release an episode. Put
Oh
it in
yeah,
the break.
that's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, that would take like planning and thinking ahead.
Ugh, we hate that.
Yeah.
Look, just like look it up or whatever. It's fine. But yeah, so let's talk about some comedy, guys. Let's
Talk about some of our favorites.
some of
Yeah.
our favorite comedians. Just so like you guys can look these people up for yourselves and
Yeah.
check them out.
So Ben already has his 3, so he's gonna start.
Yeah, he's gonna start.
Doing one, going around, doing another, going
Nah,
around.
just do all three. Fuck it.
Yeah, that
just
we've
listen.
done
We
we've
gotta-
done the go around the table thing. It takes too long.
And we gotta.
And Ari
we
will
gotta
probably
make a-
start talking about Batman.
I would never. He is not a comedian. He's actually not very funny at all. See, the thing.
Ah, I fell into
I mean,
the
he's-
trap.
And in conclusion, that's why I think Batman would actually be really good at stand-up comedy. All right. Anyways,
I'm so old.
also,
So
I
we,
was gonna say.
yeah, we all just aged
also,
3 years because Ari
Oh god.
had another Batman speech prepared.
Also, I was gonna say that Travis and I need time to come up with our favorite comedians. So you go.
All right. The first one I would probably like. I thoroughly enjoy. Probably Dave Attell.
Yeah.
I fucking love. Like. He knows what he looks like, and he knows the material he can sell, and how he can sell it well, and it's usually insanely fucked up material, and I goddamn love it. Like, one of my favorite bits that he does is that, like, that Jack Daniels is a wild man's drink. It's for a crazy
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
But, like, because he always blacks out when he drinks Jack Daniels, which he also just likes to call time travel. Like, you drink a little bit, you wake up, you're in one bar, then you black out, you wake up, you're in a completely different bar, then you wake up, or you black out one more time and you wake up and you're working at a White Castle in Wisconsin, like 7 years, and you're still not assistant manager, and you're banging the slow girl on the fry later.
Oh,
God.
They say she's a little dim, but them titties ain't dim.
We got it. We made it.
Is it David Tell that has a joke like about his friends and he calls them the unfuckables?
Yes, I
Because he's like,
believe so.
it's me and I look like this and a guy who thinks Lord of the Rings is real.
I believe so.
Okay, to be fair, they never disproven it, so.
I
Yeah.
mean, I guess so.
I mean, New Zealand is a country, right?
Yeah. That's where Middle Earth is.
Yeah. Another one I thoroughly enjoy, Gone Too Soon, Greg Giraldo.
Yeah, see, I was actually about to say, like, Dave Attell and Greg Giraldo seem to go hand in hand.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, I first saw them on the same...
They were on, like, Comedy Central roast, right?
The Comedy Central roast, but they were also on the Insomniac tour.
Ah, yeah.
I don't remember the fourth guy, but Dane Cook was also a part of that. And it's like, that was the first time I saw Dane Cook. And,
What a weird group of people.
Yeah.
Greg Giraldo, Dave Attell, Dane Cook, and some other guy.
Some ginger
Quick,
dude.
put together a tour that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Then, like, third is, of course, Anthony Jeselnik.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew Jeselnik was going to come up.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking knew it.
I love him to death. It's not just that I thoroughly love his comedy. He interviews. I love the interviews that he does.
Yeah.
Because it's some people like turn it off and on for like they try to be more real in an interview, but it's almost like he plays up his stage persona for the interview, and it's amazing.
Nice.
You know where he does turn it off though? When he's talking to other comics about comedy. Like he will just like be like, "Hey, here, this is what I think comedy is," and it's really fucking interesting. So I would highly recommend looking up some of those conversations on YouTube.
He's
Nice.
a really brilliant person on comedy.
Can I share with you one of my favorite Anthony Jeselnik jokes?
Yes.
Okay. My sister got my nephew a Barbie doll, and I hate that. I hate that because I don't want him to get unrealistic expectations about how easy it is to take a woman's head off. So good.
That is really good.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
I feel like we need to put in a disclaimer here and just say that, like, look up at your own risk.
Yeah.
Like, all these comics are hilarious, but
all three comics that Ben mentioned are like, whoa.
Or like,
they are off color, but
mean,
they're
like-
very funny.
Yeah.
This podcast is marked as explicit, but we like if we start getting into some shit, I cut it out.
Yeah.
Because we get
Like,
into
I think the
some
craziest
We
thing
edit.
the craziest thing we did was like talk about gun control in episode 18
Yeah.
or 16 or something back in season 1.
Did we leave that in?
Yeah, we left it in because it was pertinent to what was happening at the
timely.
time. Yeah, it was
know?
very timely actually.
You know what? Fuck it. Okay. Cool.
And what's fucked up about that is I think we were talking about gun control because a shooting happened
Yeah,
when we recorded
yet
that
another.
episode. And then that episode released when another major shooting happened.
Well, here's the thing. I thoroughly believe that Donald Trump thought that mass shootings were what made America great.
Yeah, probably.
He
He's doing a
succeeded.
fine job.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Technically, a mass shooting is what created America.
To be fair, you are correct.
Shot heard around the world and all
Yeah.
that.
Hey, shots fired.
I mean, you can go even earlier and go with the Boston Massacre.
Yeah.
Or the French-Indian War. Okay.
Back to ASMR cast. ASMR cast. Bang, bang, bang.
Okay, what did you do? You did your thirds?
Yeah, I did
Did you do
three.
your threes?
Yeah,
my
he did
threes.
3.
All right, Travis.
Count
All right.
counts in threes.
I'm
Because
You're correct. Rule of threes.
it gangbangs.
I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna start off with Mike Birbiglia.
Ooh.
Yes.
A lot of people think that Mike Birbiglia isn't like very funny.
He's just really dry.
Yeah, so he's super dry, and he's also a lot of the times he's a clean comic.
Yeah.
Which will turn a lot of people off for some reason.
Because it's boring.
But he is, I mean, not necessarily.
I'm just being a
Okay.
dick.
But he is an amazing storyteller.
Oh, yes.
Like Sleepwalk with Me and My Girlfriend's Boyfriend are probably 2 of my favorite comedy specials.
Yes.
Because he is such an enticing storyteller that you can hear the audience listening to him.
Yeah.
Like he will get into a story and it gets so quiet.
Well, see, that-
And that's even more effective with his punchlines because his story gets so intense and then he'll release a punchline and it hits so hard.
See, that's the thing I don't understand with a lot of comics. When they want to tell stories,
Mm-hmm.
then they say, "Oh, I just hear that silence and I freak the fuck out." All that means is that they're listening to you.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
you want, man. Come on.
I will say this, as somebody who like is not a clean comic and will rely on curse words to sometimes punch things up, I think being a clean comic is
It's even more difficult.
It is. It really
yeah, it
is.
can be a challenge. Like I've tried to write some I've tried to convert some of my dirty jokes into clean jokes, and it's hard.
yeah.
It's hard. And then I
will-
try to write clean jokes, and I'm like, nah, I'm an idiot. I can't.
It's a lot harder to make that demographic of people who want clean comedy to laugh. Because Nate Bargatze was at the club, and I worked there.
Yeah.
And the demographic he brought out for a clean show, just take one glance at them motherfuckers, and I'm like, oh, I can't tell if I'm at church or the DMV.
Yeah, see, and what's weird is like those people don't seem like they would be Nate Bargatze fans either.
It's very true.
Because Nate Bargatze is like, he's a pretty liberal dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of, not to like stereotype people, but a lot of clean comedy fans are the more like conservative,
Yeah.
like redneck, because a lot of like all of the blue collar comedy group, you know,
Fairly.
yeah, conservative.
Jeff Foxworthy,
yeah.
Bill Engvall, they're
Religiousy.
all more like conservative, religious, whatever. Like the black sheep of the blue collar comedy tour was Ron White, because he's fucking rough around the edges compared to the other guys.
Yeah, but he's very outspoken, conservative guy. He loves weed and like tequila, but god damn, that man loves Trump.
That's
I have
true.
watched all 5 Thou Shalt Laughs,
Oh God.
which is a Christian comedy, showcase that they filmed and put on Netflix. One of them, one of them was hosted by, and I don't remember her name. It's like it's like something Pierce. I'll look her up in a little bit. But one of them was hosted by the most successful female comic of all time.
Really?
Yes, who is a clean Christian musical comedian, which are 3 words. Separately, all right. Together, too much for me personally.
Is this that cunt you showed me a couple of months ago?
Yes.
See, I hate using that word, but from what I remember of this lady,
She is.
I don't want to see her next Tuesday.
Her comedy show is.
Shitty.
It's awful. It's first of all, it's just I don't think it's just funny at all. And then second of all, she is the type who's like, I'm going to mock liberals.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
she's
how wackadoo are them
definitely
leftists, y'all?
She has used the word snowflake and libtard unironically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like she's just that. Also, she's estranged from her daughter, and I almost guarantee the reason is LGBTQ related, although I'm not sure. But
I literally think this is one of her jokes.
I was sitting in church the other day just praising the Lord, drinking some sweet tea, thinking, why can't a feminist enjoy this?
yeah, I wouldn't be totally surprised. She has a song called "I'm a Woman," where she's like, or like a lot of her comedy is like, now this ain't for the men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a girls' night, and we just leave our husband. And I'm just.
We
not
leave
a fan.
our husbands at the door.
All right.
There
we've
is a way
gone-
to do that well, but
we've
I'm
gone on a
sorry, we're off the
tangent.
rails.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah. Let's make fun of this bitch for another 45 minutes.
Shut up. No, I'm just kidding.
But so number 1, Mike Birbiglia.
Yes.
2,
I have to say this about Mike Birbiglia.
What's
I'm
that?
very sorry. What I should have said was nothing. One of my favorite stand-up specials of all
Good,
time.
yeah, that's
and
a
just
good one.
solid life advice.
Yes.
I love it so much.
I need to heed that advice a little bit more.
Yeah, you do.
Well, Travis.
This is mostly in reference to how you argue on Facebook all the time, which you have done less
don't.
of. But
Okay,
stopped.
Google. Can you give me a list of burn centers in the area?
We've done this joke
we've done
before.
this several times.
That
Dan
joke
loves this joke.
It's getting buried under the horse.
Yeah.
All right, finish your list, please.
Number 2, I'm gonna go with Kyle Kinane.
Ooh, that's a good
Like,
one.
Yes.
I love his delivery. I
Love
love his
Kyle Kinane.
concepts. I had one of those moments where I don't know if I just like subliminally thought of it, because I generally, like, when I go to sleep, I need some sort of white noise. So I'll turn on like a podcast, or like on my Pandora station, I'll turn on a comedy station. Mm-hmm. And my seeds are like Kyle Kinane, Tom Segura, Mike Birbiglia, John Mulaney, all that. And so like Kyle Kinane plays a lot. And there have been several moments where I like think of a joke idea, and then I start listening to my comedy station, and then I hear that joke idea and a Kyle Kinane bit, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
So it's either like I'm hearing it in my sleep and I think about it later, or I'm like I'm like right behind Kyle Kinane on the brain train.
Could be. Man, that's the thing. It's like, I mean, what is it? Sub sola nihil nova est. There's nothing new under the sun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're living in. I mean, like,
And that's becoming even more prevalent with like the internet these days.
Yeah.
Like nothing has ever been original.
God.
But also it's so hard to come up with like original sounding material.
Yeah.
Because somebody else is doing that same thing. There's so many people in the world. Like I have a bit where I use the pun Dunyan Rings, which has also been made famous by Game Grumps.
Yeah.
But it's
Like
in such a different context.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the concept is the same, but it's in such a different context that I still feel comfortable using it as a punchline.
like on a long enough timeline, everything's derivative.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I mean,
Like, on a long enough timeline, we're all related.
yeah, exactly. To them
Do
fish.
you think though? I feel this way. I feel like there are some things, even though like it's different enough. I feel like there's some things that like they just become too famous or too known,
Right.
and like even if it was just like parallel thought, and or even if it's just like I feel like you have to get pretty fucking creative to do a joke about airline food. It's just been done to
Absolutely.
death.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel you have to be pretty fucking creative to do that whole, like, I just flew in and boy, are my arms tired, which I have seen. Like, I've seen a fairly, like, a new comic do, and it was hilarious.
Here's like I love that joke. I love that premise. The idea mine is I just flew in and like boy is this premise tired.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
that is good.
When we're off the air, I'll tell you the version of the joke I've heard, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Look, just go see your local comedians, guys.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Support
You'll see
local
some funny
comedy.
shit.
You'll see some good shit.
What's your last comedian?
My last one, I'm having trouble because there's so many that I love.
I know, right?
Just rip off the Band-Aid.
Another one is probably going to be Tom Segura.
Oh, I was gonna say Tom Segura, one of mine.
That's why I was like, I'm probably going to steal it from Ari.
Yeah, fuck it, we're
But Tom
getting
Segura
weird.
is
We're
another
getting
one of
weird.
those guys. He's a great storyteller.
Yeah.
And he's another one of those, like, off the wall, will say fucking anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But he's also so, like,
Relatable
about
so
it.
Funny.
Like, there's so many of his bits where he's like, so I was talking to a black guy. Not that it matters that it's black. That's just what was happening.
It's just this. That's part of the story. So I
part
thought
of
I'd
the
mention
story.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like so many of those. And it's like, it's so good. And like he does voices. One thing I wish I could do was like have jokes where I could do voices, but I feel like I can't like nail it enough.
He's fluent in Spanish.
Yeah, that's
And
amazing.
will incorporate
I
that
love
into his
that.
comedy.
Yeah. There's so
Like I love that bit about him trying to go get into a parking lot in Vegas. And
Yes.
he's trying to butter up the Mexican parking attendant by speaking Spanish. He's like, "Oh, fuck you, fuck you," and then he starts speaking in English, and the guy's like, "Okay."
there's we play videos to start the show out at the club, and Tom Segura's coming to the club.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of those shows is already sold out.
I know.
Oh, I believe it.
So there's this bit that he does. It's the one where because the dude who makes the videos kind of terrible, but because there's the joke that Tom Segura that on there that the dude cuts out. It's like it starts out like this is the whole joke. I said that to Big Daddy Kane once.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't. If you,
Oh yeah, shouting.
yes, it's amazing.
I
the
love
bit,
that.
'cause
I
it's
love
just-
that bit.
Look like there's no way we'd be able to do the joke as well. So just look all these people up.
Yeah.
Just it's their material. Hear it from the horse's mouth. Like,
Yeah.
fucking do that.
Yeah.
Go, like Tom Segura has a special. It's mostly stories on Netflix. But then he also has 2 other albums that are on. You can find them on like Spotify.
I think a lot of Comedy Central presents are through Amazon Prime.
Oh really?
I think.
I think they are now.
And like all of these people have at least a 30-minute special.
Oh, absolutely.
For a while, you could like spit in a comedy club and get a Netflix special.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true anymore. And I'm not saying that those comics haven't worked hard
No, they-
and don't deserve the Netflix special.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that with Netflix, you see a lot more specials being produced.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
Netflix has been great for stand-up
yeah,
comedy.
I eventually would like a Netflix special. So, hit me up, Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Hit me up. All right. Well, now I got to find another comic that I
Sorry.
like. Just kidding. I like so many. I'm going to start out with probably my all-time favorite comic. Maria Bamford.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. Another great person who does so many voices.
So many voices. She's if you are into cartoons at all, you've already heard Maria Bamford.
Yeah.
She does a ton of voices on Adventure Time, including Slime Princess. She's
Like generally
so funny.
Almost any episode where there's like a big collection of princesses. Like
she's a part of it.
A big one was an early Adventure Time episode where like Ice King kidnapped all the princesses and Finn has to go save them. And
she did like all those voices.
Almost about half of the princesses are Maria Bamford.
Yeah. Just doing
It's great.
crazy voices.
And even in the like DVD, I have the season 1 on DVD, and I listen to the commentary, and it's like Tom Kenny, Pendleton Ward, Jeremy Shada, and someone else, and like there's that scene where all the princesses are talking, and Tom's like, "Who's that?" And Penn's like, "Oh, that's Maria," and Tom's like, "No way."
Yeah. Yeah. She can disguise her voice so well. And she's just so funny. Like she's so God, she's so funny.
Yeah. She's also very pro
Pro like a mental health.
Yeah, she's very pro mental health.
Yeah,
or like,
she's really struggling with
like,
it, so she'll talk about her
she's
experiences.
trying to like destigmatize mental health disorders.
It's like the same way Christopher Titus does it.
yeah.
I actually saw her like before I started doing comedy. She was in Birmingham, so I went down to go see her for my birthday, and she basically like did her jokes about suicide, and she was like, "I hate doing this fucking bit, but it's really good, so I'm gonna do it."
Yeah.
Which is such a comedian thing. I feel
Yeah,
like.
it's like I hate this, but I'm gonna do it.
Like I definitely have some jokes. That
well,
I'm just
it's
like,
a
I
big
hate this
entertainment
fucking
thing.
joke.
Like
Yeah.
fucking Slash from Guns N' Roses hates "Sweet Child of Mine."
Yeah.
because that song was originally a fucking like finger exercise for him.
Yeah.
So anytime he does it, he's just like, "I hate this. I hate doing this."
I hate this. I hate this so much. It's like, yeah, she's so good. I'm not going to be able to do any of her jokes justice. Just go. She's got tons of comedy albums on Spotify.
Yeah.
She's got 2 specials on Netflix.
I love
show.
this special.
Yes, the special, where she performed in her house to a very special audience, her parents.
Her parents and her dog.
And her dog, her pugs. She also has a sitcom called Lady Dynamite.
Which is amazing. Does it have 2
Hilarious.
seasons now? I don't think I've seen the second season.
I've only seen season 1, so I'm not sure. But she's so funny. Go check her out. She's like my favorite comedian of all time. I love her so much.
Yeah.
The second comedian I'm going to mention is a not very well-known guy at all.
Yeah.
But he only has 1 album on Spotify, and I have probably listened to this 1 album like 10 times.
Who's that?
Jared Harris.
Yeah.
He was a guy.
You just got out Whataburgered?
No. That's Mac Blake.
Okay.
Honorable
Who was
mention,
also great.
Honorable mention to Mac Blake from San Antonio.
Austin.
Austin.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Texas.
There's somebody I'm waiting to do
He's so good.
an honorable mention for in case you don't mention her.
Okay. In a minute. Let me finish my list.
Okay.
Are you trying to like psychically link?
Maybe. Physical gags!
Yeah.
But Jared Harris he's a guy, he's from Atlanta originally, now he's out in LA. And I actually saw him because one of the local comics here, who's actually on the season finale, runs a show called Enter the Comedy Dragon.
Well, he was on the season 1 finale. You've already heard him. It's Scott Eason.
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, that episode is already aired.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I thought you were
agree.
saying
Well,
a season finale of something else.
Yeah,
Oh.
you could have
I
just
said it
said it because
weirdly.
everyone knows.
I'm tired, y'all.
Scott Eason does this show, and Jared Harris was on it.
Yeah, and he normally they'll do like a 30 to 45 minute set, and he literally was like, "Oh, you guys having fun? Cool. We're going to be here for an hour and 30 minutes."
Yeah.
And guess what? It was hilarious the entire fucking time.
That's awesome.
Then I bought his album, and I have it in my car, and I listen to it on Spotify when I'm too lazy to get out my CDs. He's so funny. It's a Jared Harris president talkative.
Yeah.
He's always wearing like a Marty McFly vest and a trucker hat, and he just sounds like a good old boy from the South, but he's so good. I need to tweet at him that Trixie Mattel is his answer to the gay country album.
Yes,
that he
you
wants.
do.
That
You
he
do.
that he jokes about. Because he has a joke about gay country albums.
All right.
And then for my third
number
and
3.
final comedian that I'm going to mention that's not Tom Segura, I'm going to give a shout out to Rhea Butcher,
Yeah.
who is, you may have heard of her because she's Cameron Esposito's wife, and they did a sitcom together called Take My Wife, which sadly, it was on CISO, which did not last very long.
Yeah.
But there's a season you can watch. Pretty sure you could find it on like YouTube or on
Something.
Stars maybe.
Yeah.
And then they did film a second season. They didn't release it on CISO, but they released it on the Stars app.
Okay.
So you can find it. Go check it out because it's actually a really great show. It's about Cameron Esposito, who's also very funny, and Rhea Butcher like living and doing comedy in LA. And Rhea also has one album out on Spotify called Butcher, and then her and Cameron have a like dual album.
That's cool.
Interesting.
Where
Let me, like, to give you a description of what Rhea Butcher is like. It's like she's like if Ron Swanson was an Eagle Scout.
Yes, that is such a good way to describe her. Her opening bit on her album Butcher is, it's a very appropriate name because I'm butcher than all of you.
Yeah.
Like she gets out on stage in like fucking like work jeans and like
A
work
Carhartt
boots.
jacket.
And yeah, in a jacket that she wears when she's bringing in her kills from the woods.
No, from when she was like getting hay from the fucking.
Yes, yeah, it's
the
her fucking
fields.
cowboy jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just like a super butch lesbian who's just like, I'm going to talk about being from Ohio and being a goddamn badass. Like, she's so funny. So
I'm thoroughly looking forward to meeting her.
I'm not sure if she's coming.
I like. We're
hope
crossing
so.
fingers, dicks, dildos. Everything's crossed around here, guys.
So Cameron Esposito is coming to Huntsville.
Yeah.
And we're going to be there. And we're so fucking pumped.
Did you do that thing you were supposed to do?
No, not yet, but I have reasons. I'll tell you about it later. And then Rhea usually performs with Cameron, so we're really hoping that they both come because that would just be like a dream come true.
That would be amazing.
And also, Cameron is very funny. Check her out as well. And that's my list.
Yeah. So I gave an honorable mention to Mac Blake. I also want to give an honorable mention to Dave Stone.
Hell yeah.
Hell
Goes
yeah,
hand in
so
hand with
good.
Kyle Kinane.
We've talked about the Boogie Monster
Yeah, we
podcast
talked about the
before.
Boogie Monster. Dave Stone is a delight. I love every time he comes to Huntsville. I have his album.
Yeah.
I listen to it all the time. He's like from kind of rural Georgia.
It's like Dalton, Georgia, that
Yeah.
he's from.
Sort of,
Yeah.
like around there, and then he like came up in the Atlanta scene, and now he's out in L.A. He's just another one of those like Southern guys.
Kicking ass and taking names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this real quick. So some of our listeners might be like, oh man, going to a local comic show sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
But I don't have any local comedy in my area. Hey, buddy, guess what the fuck?
You do.
Yes, you do.
You do.
You do.
You do if you can look for it.
You might not know about it, and quite frankly, the comics might be bad about promoting it. But
They
you do
probably
have
are.
it.
Well, I mean,
Pensacola has a comedy scene, all right? Pensacola.
No, let me put
here's the thing though. Like
Yeah.
Huntsville didn't really have a comedy scene until 2011, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
And if Huntsville, so I graduated high school in 2011 because I'm a tiny baby,
Yeah, you are.
and
He's in a booster
A
seat.
tiny
and so
baby.
in 2000, like summer of 2011, I left Huntsville.
Yeah.
And then I came back in 2014, and I was like, Huntsville's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Because one, I'm 21 and I can go do things.
Like
Right.
drink.
Two, there was a comedy scene when I came back.
Mm-hmm.
And if there had been a comedy scene in like 2008, I would have started doing comedy when I was fucking 16 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so it's.
If you could have gotten into bars.
Yeah. Oh, well, I could have gotten in. I have my ways. I have my ways and wiles.
Who just thrown himself through the
Travis.
windows. That's how you get into a bar if you're
Dun,
underage.
dun, 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 dun. Most of the bars in Alabama are also like you have to be 19
Yeah.
to get in because they're smoking bars.
Well, I've seen situations where this is more so in music.
Yeah.
Where like they will let, someone who's 17 or 18 come in and play.
Don't name those bars.
Yeah.
Keep their secrets.
It's mostly
safe.
for like the open mic situation.
Yeah.
But like as long as like someone has an eye on them, usually there is like someone with them who's like keeping them in check.
Yeah.
Well, and this is actually brings up a good point. Like, yeah, we didn't have a comedy scene until some guys got together and were like, let's do this.
Yeah.
And it's kind of really exploded. Like, we went from having nothing
Yeah.
to having,
The biggest show in the
multiple open
Southeast.
mics. And yeah, one of the best shows, if not the best show in Alabama and the Southeast.
Yeah, definitely the best indie show in the Southeast, I think.
I agree. I think so. It's called Epic Comedy Hour.
Yeah.
Check it out if you're around. And then also like a fucking club.
Yeah.
Like our comedy scene got so big that it attracted a club.
Yeah.
Because I truly think that like if comics had not if like these guys like Scott and Tom and Brandon and
yeah.
Jonathan, if they had not gotten together and like worked to build the scene, then the guy who runs Stand Up Live wouldn't have realized that there is a market for it in Huntsville.
Absolutely.
Like, because before we had the indie comedy scene, the place you'd go see comedy in Huntsville is at the Von Braun Civic Center.
Right, yeah, because it'd be the big names coming through.
Right. And honestly, those big names were like, not saying that they're not funny, because there have been some very
Yeah.
hilarious comics
like,
that come through, but they're one type.
Jim Gaffigan comes to Huntsville,
Right.
I think every couple of years, if not every year, but he comes to the Von Braun Center.
Right.
But yeah, like, I feel like if there was no indie comedy scene in Huntsville, it would have been another 10 years before
Right. I
Huntsville
agree.
got a comedy market like that.
Yeah.
But so, like, anyway, that I said all that to say, just, like, look for it.
And if you don't have one,
Like, Google the name of your city and comedy.
yeah.
And
put it-
see if something comes up.
To put it in perspective, like, sure, Los Angeles is a massive city, but there are motherfuckers who run open mics and shows from, like, a garage in Koreatown.
Yeah.
There are house shows.
Same dudes run comedy shows on tops of buildings.
Yeah.
So, like, underage kids can get into the shows and perform.
I have been to a comedy show in somebody's fucking living room.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think Dan Alton does a lot of house shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, if you are somebody who's interested in doing comedy and your town or city or whatever doesn't have comedy, do it yourself.
Yeah.
You would be surprised how many bars and, like, places want to work with you to put on a comedy show.
Because they have a tough enough time trying to get people in on a weeknight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like honestly, the two bars where we do our comedy shows are our open mics are probably busier than they have any right to be because
Oh, absolutely. Maggie's was packed last night.
yeah, Maggie's is
Even when
Maggie's
I got
packed.
there, I got there late and it was still packed.
Yeah, and that was on a Monday. So
Yeah.
like, good job.
Like, comedy is a great thing for a bar on a weekday.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, they
Or a
have their...
coffee shop or
Yeah.
a comic book store or a record. Like, it doesn't
Somebody's
just have to be
house.
bars.
Yeah.
Or somebody's house. Our apartment.
Our apartment, a fucking the roof of a parking garage,
Ben's backyard.
Yeah.
a park.
We had a show in Ben's backyard one time, y'all.
Yeah.
Nobody came.
Nobody
Mostly because the producer didn't do a good job promoting it.
Heyo.
Hey, we didn't have a poster or anything.
Yeah, like I said, the producer
Yeah.
really dropped the fucking ball. Just kidding.
Will.
So yeah, so
Well, it is March, so, like, in 6 months when he's back and it's my birthday, we'll have another show.
Will's it's totally gonna be like a he's gonna go, but he's gonna keep coming,
He's going to keep coming back.
yeah,
for
like a
stuff.
Justin, what's his name, Justin Ludlow situation,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
Jonathan
yeah.
Craig situation.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I mean, because he's only going to Memphis. It's not that far away.
yeah, it's like
Only 3 hours, yeah. It's not bad.
Anyways, yeah, so basically, there are tons of great comics out there who you might not know about. Hopefully
Yeah.
we've shared some with you. And if you build it, they will come if you
Yeah.
want to do comedy yourself.
And if you feel like, if you're a fan of comedy and you feel like trying to
I'm spreading the cough. I'm sorry.
if you're a fan of comedy and you feel like spreading your horizons, like if you feel like you've listened to all the people you listen to and that's it, open up Pandora and type in comedy. And I have discovered so many comedians for myself just through listening to Pandora and hearing things pop up, like names that almost nobody else I have talked to has heard of, like fucking Tommy Daslow and Mac Blake that I showed you guys,
Yeah.
Dan St. Germain, Brooks Wheelan, who was a writer for Saturday Night Live, actually.
Yeah.
Brooks Wheelan has an album. Fucking all these people that are so good, and they're on Pandora, and you can find them and just listen to it. Just listen to comedy.
Also, I'm about to lose my goddamn mind.
Why?
Because I cannot believe that I just went through a list of some of my favorite comedians and I didn't mention Baron Vaughn.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's the first time I heard Baron Vaughn, too, is on Pandora.
Yeah, okay.
The fucking penises and lollipops bit.
Hilarious. I have to stop everything and take a minute to tell you guys, look, you listeners, don't go now to your nearest computer, phone, which is probably pause the podcast.
Yeah.
Go look up Baron Vaughn and watch. He's hilarious.
We'll wait.
Yeah, we'll take a minute, moment of silence. Great, you're back? Awesome.
Yeah, okay.
How was Baron Vaughn?
How was
Did you
Baron
love
Vaughn?
him?
Was it great?
Yeah, good. He's on TV in Grace and Frankie.
Yeah.
He plays like the adopted kid of Frankie.
He's a voice in the new Mystery Science Theater.
Yes, he's Crow, right? Or Tom Servo.
I think he's Crow.
I think he's Crow. He's so funny. So funny. So yeah, go look at just go.
Yeah.
Go now. Do it. All right, sorry.
Well,
I had to take that break.
Yeah.
I had to talk about him.
Well, we're actually about to get into watching our episode, so during our break, you can just pause that up. You can pause us when you hear the guitar bleep.
Yep.
And then go listen to Baron Vaughn, and then listen to whatever we have to say
Really
after
quick.
that.
I mean, it was either going to be a Baron Vaughn break or a Dick Grayson break.
It's not a comic book conversation, guys. We're not even, it's fine. I'm not going to talk. Look, Dick Grayson would actually be very supportive of me trying to promote. Stop. Don't throw anything at me. Okay. Stop hitting me, Ben. Real quick, before we talk about the episode, which we are getting to, this is the problem talking about comedy because we'll take 10
Yeah, I
years.
know.
The only thing I could talk about longer than Dick Grayson and Batman is comedy.
Yeah.
But if you were deciding to do an open mic, here's my advice for you. If you're going to do an open mic for the first time,
Leave 9/11 at the door,
yeah,
along with rape.
don't do any rape jokes.
Don't
Don't
talk
say
about
the
Don't
N-word.
say the N-word if you're a white
That
person or
includes-
not black at all.
Let's not talk
Even
about
if you
Nazis.
have black friends, just don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
That's very good advice.
Don't say it's your first time and that you're really nervous. They can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prepare material.
Yeah.
Don't just
Yeah.
get up on stage and wing it.
When I had first heard about Huntsville comedy through like several channels, and then I was like, oh cool, maybe one day I'll go to an open mic. And then like fucking 6 months later,
Yeah.
when I finally decided what I would talk about at a comedy open mic,
Yeah.
that's when I went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I knew we were going to get like 3 to 5 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and I absolutely just like had my jokes down. So many people go up there and wing it, and it's not like
It's not right.
it's not saying that I'm not saying that that's like a bad idea all the time.
Yeah.
Nor am I saying that like there aren't people who do go up and wing it and don't do great, or like that might be what you're comfortable with, and that's fine. I'd rather you get up and do it than not at all.
Yeah.
What I am saying is that I think you'll feel a lot better about your set if you've done prepared material. Don't expect to do amazing your first time. Don't get discouraged. A lot of people just go up and eat shit. And pay attention to the light, all right?
Yes.
The host
please.
says he's gonna light you in a minute.
When you get lit, wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Like if the host says he's gonna light you at a minute and till the end of your set, don't be like, Awesome. Now it's time to do my 30-minute long joke
Yeah.
about penises. You got to save that for later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Save
and
it
that's
for
my
next
advice
time.
if you're gonna do comedy for the first time, which I hope you do. Because
He said doo-doo.
do. I hope you do.
We're
it
comedians.
We're professionals.
We have gotten paid to
Jokes,
do comedy.
jokes,
Jokes.
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 No,
jokes,
I hope you do
jokes.
comedy because like it's such a rush and it's just awesome being on stage, and a lot of people are nervous or discouraged because it is hard, but it's worth it. If you work at it, you'll get good. Like
Yeah.
you will probably.
I mean, that's true for anything.
yeah,
like-
yeah.
Every person that we mentioned on this podcast that we love that does comedy, that has albums, Netflix specials,
Sucked at one point.
baggage,
Oh,
they
yeah.
all sucked at one point.
They all sucked. And it all took them a while to get where they were.
Yeah,
Like, I think Kyle Kinane moved to LA in like 2002 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he didn't get he recorded his first album in like 2010.
Yeah.
Something like that. So don't get discouraged about, not doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Baron Vaughn just didn't roll off of somebody's dick and get a Netflix special.
And there's
Right.
there's actually a lot of comedians out there. Like I think in Donald Glover's Hour special,
Yeah.
he said something about like there's something Donald Glover he did stand up comedy for a very short amount of time before he got his filmed hour.
Yeah.
But he also did a lot of comedy writing and a lot of sketch comedy and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
he started out as like a writer on 30 Rock and SNL and stuff. He like, yeah, I mean, people take different paths.
Same with John Mulaney. He was a writer too.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of comedians get big not because they do it for a long. Some do.
Yeah.
But then other comedians come through other channels of doing stand up.
There's a lot of different venues. Like, I was actually talking to my dad about this the other day because he's like super supportive, but also he wants me to make money.
Yeah.
He's like, have you considered like starting a YouTube channel and getting famous that way? And I'm like, Dad, yes, I've thought about doing everything.
We'll collaborate with your brother.
Drake, you also need that list of burn centers, apparently. Because Travis is coming after the Koblers, man.
Yo.
Drake is not going to record me because my brother does not think I'm funny.
Which I think is hilarious.
Yeah,
It is pretty goddamn funny.
If I ever get famous, I expect Drake to just be like, I still don't fucking get it. I don't understand. Like, he does not think I'm funny at all. But it's whatever. It's fine. Love you, Drake. Whatever.
Love,
No.
hate, love.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I feel like that third panel of It's Fine Dog is coming around now.
Yeah.
When he starts to melt.
Yeah, so lots of people, get big in different ways, it's not even about getting big. It's about making a career doing what you want to do.
Oh, absolutely.
It's really about putting in the work.
Yeah.
It
Some people-
absolutely
like
is.
sometimes they put in the work by giving it to other people. Sometimes they put in the work and then figure out how to perform it themselves.
50% luck, 25% talent, 103% people knowing my name.
Yeah, basically.
I made those percentages up.
Did you know that 87% of all statistics in... I'm kidding.
Hey, I didn't realize that George Kobler was here.
Hey,
I didn't realize that my father had come back to life to make... Just kidding, my dad's not dead.
you've already done that in the past 48 hours.
You make a lot of dad jokes.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, Ben's
Because of
bad.
my mom.
Flipping it. I see. I was the sexist one the whole time.
Yep.
All right, Travis.
Yeah.
This episode is called Houses of the Holy.
Houses of the Holy.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Sam and Dean. Sam and Dean are gonna...
This is not a short description, apparently. I'm sorry.
They're gonna go to a house and they're gonna be like, oh, look at this house, and there's gonna be a cross in front of it, and they're gonna be like, oh, there must be some holy people living here. And that's what they do.
Good.
What are you guys typing? Y'all are both like texting.
We're texting each other about that shitty.
And Ari is
you
like
just
got
gave us.
her fucking phone over her head for some reason, like she's taking selfies or something. What are you doing?
Hey, Travis.
Oh, okay. Nice.
That's what I was doing.
Travis.
see.
Ben and I have friends who contact us when they're, when they want to talk. So,
Yeah, when they're in trouble.
yeah.
Is that what having
Bad
friends
signal.
is like?
The Dick Grayson signal's up.
And nobody wants to talk to me.
He doesn't have a signal.
Yeah, it's just a flaccid
All the
penis
people I
in the
know are
sky.
right here.
I love the face you just got
Dare
there
you.
made.
If Dick Grayson's around, dicks are hard. They're out and they're hard.
Like
You
Harambe.
can have me on that.
Dicks out for Dick Grayson. All right.
Dick's up for Dick Grayson.
Let's watch this fucking episode, guys.
Yeah, let's do
Let's
it.
just end this, please. God. And we're back.
Oh, finally. I wasn't sure if we were actually back or not.
We made it. We're here.
Yeah, all that Dick Grayson and Baron Vaughn talk.
You guys act like I only talk about two things.
You do.
Shut up. Okay. Supernatural and Batman. Guys, we just finished Houses of the Holy.
It's a fun episode.
What'd you think?
It was good.
It was good?
It was nice. It was cool. A lot of cool stuff going on.
Let's do a quick sum up and then we'll get into the meat
Yeah.
and potatoes of the episode.
Yeah, them
And
celery
the little
and carrots and
side
onions.
of blanched spinach that nobody eats.
some time.
Because I mean, potatoes, like, what? You know what I mean? Okay. So we open on this young woman who is clearly a sinner.
Yep.
She's got, like, fucking ashtrays everywhere and alcohol. So she is not right with the Lord.
Nope.
And she basically, like, an earthquake happens in her house only.
Yeah, well,
and
she's
this
flipping through a 1956 television.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
she stops on like a televangelist, and the televangelist is like, "You can be saved, and you can be saved. Everybody's gonna get saved for the low price of $19.95 for 10 months."
I did like how the cross behind him was the Scientology cross.
Did he have the Jesus fish?
Yeah, he had the Jesus fish, but he also had the Scientology cross behind him.
He did have the Scientology cross behind him.
Because it was like the regular cross, but then an extra X.
The supernatural, guys, figure out your shit.
Yeah.
Crosses are goddamn everywhere. So
Don't
just pick
cross
one up.
the streams.
And she sees this blinding white light, and she kind of smiles. And then we cut to her in a mental institution. She has stabbed somebody because an angel told her to. Sam is kind of like, he's kind of buying into this. Like, this woman clearly believes she talked to an angel.
Mm-hmm.
And she believes that the man she killed deserved to die.
Yeah.
So Sam goes back to Dean, who's not allowed to enter government buildings anymore because of what happened last episode with Agent Hendrickson, and is like, I don't know, man. She seems to really believe that an angel spoke to her. Like, she got the sign in front of this dude's house and stabbed him, and she like really, really believes that to be the case. And Dean's like, what the fuckery is this? What the fuck is happening in this day?
Yeah.
Like, angels are not real at all. And
Yeah.
Sam's like, really? You've seen everything we've seen and you don't think like angels are off the list? Like, you believe in a bugbear, but angels are off the goddamn list? What the fuck? Like, why? How? And Dean, who is a fucking legend, is just like, I don't know, I gotta see it to believe it, man. You think unicorns exist too?
And Sam's like, unicorns don't exist? What?
So they go to the first murder victim. His name's Carl Gully. They go to his house, and they're kind of searching around. They can't find anything too suspicious. And then Sam remembers that Gloria, who's the first woman's name, ironically, said that he was guilty down to his foundations. And so they go into the cellar, and they find a dead body buried in the foundations of his house. So whoever the angel or what other thing it could be is going around and pointing out guilty people.
Yeah.
And being like, hey, murder this dude. While they're researching like what Carl could have done, another person gets murdered by somebody who said an angel came to them. And again, the murderer is somebody who is like, for a religious person, on the wrong path. They're a drunk. They have Sin magazine in their house. So they visit. It turns out that the second murder victim, by the way, was a guy who's about to go visit a 13-year-old girl for nasty reasons. They both went to the same church. So they go to visit this church and meet the world's coolest priest, Father Reynolds, who can see through their act immediately, but is so into saving souls that he's just like, fuck it, please come back. And it tells them that another priest at the church, Father Gregory, was actually shot and killed on the steps of the church 2 months ago when these murders started. So Dean's like, oh, okay, so it's a vengeful spirit. And Sam is still on this angel kick. Because Father Reynolds has been praying for guidance. He's convinced that this is an avenging angel. Dean is flabbergasted by this. He's like, but why? But how? Like, how can you see what we've seen and believe in God and angels? And Sam's like, I don't know. I do. I pray to them every day. And Dean then just pops down the problem of evil. He counters with problem of evil. Because guess who else believed in angels? Mom. And they didn't save her. Sam gets visited by the angel and tells him to kill a man who hasn't done anything wrong yet, but is going to.
He's gonna.
And Sam, at this point in the episode, is just kind of like, maybe this is God's will. Maybe we should just leave town. And Dean's like, no, man. No, the fuck we shouldn't. So Dean says, okay, if it is Father Gregory, we can summon him with a seance. And if it's him, he'll come to us.
And if it's not, then it is an angel.
And then it is an angel, and we'll deal with that fuckaroo when we get there. So Dean and Sam go to pick up their supplies for a janky ritual, a janky seance. Sam actually says, we've done some pretty fucked up shit with our rituals before, but I don't think we've ever gone as ghetto as this. Like, they've got a SpongeBob placemat instead of an altar, whatever it's called, sheath.
Sometimes you gotta make do.
Yeah, you gotta pick up that shit where you can, man. What are they gonna do? Get it from the church they're at? Please.
Yeah, if you can't...
It's not a real seance if you steal all the stuff. You gotta buy it proper.
That's what God wants.
Just gonna add to the misguided angry spirit.
Right. And while they're out buying the stuff for the ritual, Sam gets the sign. He sees the guy who is going to do something wrong. So Dean is like, okay, we're going to follow him. We're going to stop him. Sam tries to get in with Dean, and Dean's like, absolutely not. You go do the seance in the church. I'll follow this guy. So Sam does the seance, and he gets caught by Father Reynolds. But right before he gets shepherded out of church, get it?
Clever.
Father Gregory appears. And in a scene we haven't seen before, Sam and Father Reynolds talk Father Gregory down. They reason him, get it, into moving on, which was very refreshing. It was nice.
It was nice that it wasn't like a super violent burning, to get rid of the ghosts.
That felt good.
And it was like Father Gregory, whose name is Thomas, but Thomas Gregory, I'll get whatever.
We'll call him Tommy from now on. Father Tommy.
He gets, Reynolds does his last rites, and he like vanishes.
And golden light, like it's a very peaceful, you get the feeling that wherever Father Gregory goes, he's at peace. And he was targeting people who were murderers or about to be murderers or rapists or about to be rapists. They're definitely asshole victims. So you have a hard time really condemning the guy. Even though Father Reynolds and Sam both rightly do.
They're like, hey, you are still like getting other people locked up. You're
making other people murderers.
This
isn't justice. This is vengeance.
That's not right.
And Father Gregory sees reason and allows the last rites to be put on him. Meanwhile, while that's going on, Dean's following
The guy that Sam is supposed
the
to
guy
be murdering.
Sam saw. Turns out he's on a date. He picks up this young woman, and they drive. Dean loses sight of him, but he catches him just in time because
he pulls into an alley and he is about to
murderize
He's
gonna
woman.
murderize with fries that lady with a box cutter, which not my first choice for a murder weapon, but I mean, on a budget, you do what you can.
Yeah.
You had to spend money on those fucking flowers.
I'm so confused by the motives of this guy, but we'll get into that.
It was his first time.
Yeah. It was so
I've never
weird.
done this
I've never
before.
done this
He's
before.
like, it's my first time. I've never done this before. And I was like, what? Never been on a date? Me neither, dude. But I've never like slapped and pulled a box cutter out on a lady.
Oh, he
Like,
goes hard.
You know
Yeah.
the meme of like an instructions unclear, got my dick stuck in a ceiling fan?
Yeah, that's exactly.
I feel like this guy would actually get his dick stuck in a
It's
ceiling
like
fan.
he tried to roll 20 and instead rolled a 1.
Yeah.
Like,
Roll one to go on it. Roll to go on a date. You roll the one. You accidentally murdered her.
yeah, you instead hit her and attempted murder.
Oh
with
my
office
God.
supplies.
And then died yourself. Roll for damage, bitch.
Yeah. So there's this cool chase scene, and they're all like Dean's chasing him to try to get him, and then the dude comes to his end because this he's like blasting through an intersection, and this like utility truck
This utility truck traveling at, I guess, 8 p.m.
Yeah.
has a single steel pole in the
Yeah.
back of his truck.
And he
Ju-
like
just
whips
hanging
around,
out.
and the pole flies out and impales the dude through the heart.
Yeah. In the Crown Vic.
So the young woman saved. The guy who was about to be a murderer is dead.
Is murdered.
Is murderized with fries. And Dean goes back to the motel that he and Sam are at. And Sam just has a moment where he's like, you were totally right. I wanted so hard to believe in angels and God, because if I can believe in angels, then maybe I can be saved one day.
Right.
Like, it goes back to this shadowy, possibly evil
Right.
destiny Sam has. You know? Like, maybe if angels exist, then all this praying I've been doing for safety and peace and support hasn't been for naught.
Mm-hmm.
And Dean, trying to comfort him, I guess.
Yeah.
And also just explain the craziness he saw that night goes, you know, you might not be totally off the mark.
Yeah.
Because the man I was following is dead. And the way he died, I can't describe it as anything other than God's will.
Yeah.
And the episode fucking ends.
While knocking on heaven's door is playing.
Knocking
Yeah.
on heaven's door plays. Feels very appropriate. Da-da-da!
Yeah. So first thing about this episode right off the bat is this girl that was like flipping through channels with this like janky
Gloria, the murderer.
Yeah, and like I wish that remotes still made click noises. Like you've probably heard old people refer to remotes as clickers because they used to like click.
Yeah.
They used to go
Hey kids, guess what remotes used to do?
yeah. And I really wish that they still did. Even, like, you know how people like go into like buying me. I've got a mechanical keyboard because they're like clicky and they're fun. I really want like mechanical remotes back.
There's, I think
we
there
go.
are like classic versions of universal remotes.
Oh yeah, totally. You know
gotta
how like they
find
have
some.
like old type rotary phones for landlines these days?
Yeah.
This is a good episode for like, wasn't it wacky back then? Here's the wacky, crazy, like, technology and things were so different. Nostalgia things for me. Number one, Gloria, the murderer.
Yeah.
I used to have that exact outfit that was like my slutty outfit.
Oh, really?
She is wearing a denim miniskirt, a t-shirt, but it's like,
It's like a big scoop cut.
it's like a big, like a deep V-neck with a lacy blue bra showing.
Mm-hmm.
And then like she's like got a smoky eye going.
Oh, yeah.
That is, I feel like, a very like,
Cliche slutty look.
but specifically for the early 2000s.
And her hair was
Yeah.
curly too.
Yeah.
I actually have another note about that. this is a true thing that I have seen in multiple Christian movies.
Sluts
You
have
know
curly hair?
you know a young woman has turned to God because her hair goes from curly to straight.
Oh my
I am
God.
not kidding.
What?
Like I can think of like 3 different Christian movies where that happens.
Jesus.
Yeah, which is a crazy phenomenon. Like, is that a thing in the are there no curly-haired Christians? Is that a thing in the popular culture I'm just not aware of?
I think it's a weird thing because like there's a lot of people that associate like having that super curly hair as having it dirty. Kind of goes back to a bit of a racist thing. Where like the super curly unkempt hair is not good. So when they go to having straight hair, it means they're actually like brushing and taking care of it and doing that, which is not true, but
yeah. I think it can be a little bit of a actually kind of the opposite of what you were saying, where like curly hair or styled hair means you put effort into it, which means you care about the way you look.
right.
Right? And, Christian women, blah, 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 materialism, blah, blah, blah. So, like, it could be like you're trying to look pretty and attract men when really you should be attracting God.
I gotcha. But no, with this girl's hair, you could tell that it was like naturally curly though.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I don't know.
I just don't understand why that's like a weird, like, why is that a thing? Why does that happen?
Maybe the angel scared the curls out of her hair.
Yeah, maybe. Angels are terrifying.
And then another crazy, like, kid, back in the day, the second murder victim, Frank is his name. It turns out his big sin was he was about to meet up with a 13-year-old girl who he met in a chat room. Yeah. Which, not saying that doesn't happen, not saying that didn't happen, but do you remember when your parents used to be if you share any personal information, this guy, you'll meet up with this old man and he will kill you.
I mean, how long did Dateline NBC last?
Up until...
I mean, like that.
I didn't watch Daylight NBC because I was too busy talking to people on the internet.
God,
getting murderized with fries.
Me too. I was busy role playing on the internet with strangers.
I just like that doesn't seem to be talked about today. Yeah. Especially since nowadays on Facebook, I'm like, oh, you want to argue about this in person with me? Well, here's my address and my phone number, and my blood type and my social security number. Have fun, asshole.
That is such the craziest thing about what the internet has become. It's like, don't let anyone know who you are, what you're doing, where you are.
Don't post any pictures of yourself on the internet.
Yeah, and now it's like, I'm at Five Guys with all of my friends in 3 states away. Go rob my house.
Yeah. Or it's like, hey, here's where I work. Here's a reliable way to find me all the time.
Yeah. That's why I never post vacation pictures until I'm done with the vacation.
Right.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Tech tips with short descriptions.
And then the last, like, back in the day, insane, is that Dean has to the girl who's almost murdered. Yeah. Dean has to ask her if she has a cell phone.
Yeah, because not everyone just has cell phones.
Right.
In 2007.
That was crazy.
Do you have a cell phone?
Oh, you mean this brick in my hand?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I'm using that to build my house later. So, yeah. Good episode for, like, the wacky and weird shit that happens. Yeah. Everything is crazy. My second note was, why can't God just kill these people himself?
Yeah, he's busy. Yeah. Just like Gloria said.
Is he busy?
God can't be making house calls.
So he's going to make a murder out of somebody else like a dick?
Yeah.
He's way too busy burying dinosaur bones.
To tempt good Christian to test our faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good prankster guy.
Oh God. I have future vision, so I know what happens, but like if God had actually God's already kind of a dick in the show. But if God had actually if God was behind this, I'd just been like, oh, God's a huge fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Like just get your angels to do your dirty business or do it yourself.
For real.
Like, fuck. You're going to kill these people. Give them cancer like everybody else. Like, shit. Yeah. The motel that they stay in, that Dean and Sam stay at, it's a sex motel.
It's just a sex motel.
It's a sex
motel. There's, like,
motel.
Sexy pictures on the wall.
Yeah, there's, like, pinup, you know those
silhouettes?
trucker flaps?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. With, like, the girls on them? That is the decoration.
Yeah. One of the beds is a massage bed.
This is the episode where we find out that Dean likes magic fingers, which is gonna come back.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's a little running gag.
I pulled up some trivia.
Hit me with your best shot.
On the show, it says that it was Hair of the Dog by Nazareth that was playing.
Yeah.
In actuality,
It wasn't.
it was No Quarter was playing when like the scene while he's like listening to it and the magic
Was
fingers.
it No Quarter?
That's what the trivia is saying, and I want to go with that because it's funny because he runs out of quarters.
Oh, that's true.
That
Yeah.
is funny.
Well, it must have been like the really intense part of No Quarter because
Yeah.
No Quarter is like.
Yeah.
Dean can't get a quarter to save his goddamn life.
Yeah.
He runs out of quarters and he just wants to get on that bed so fucking bad.
They even went to a convenience store, to a goddamn bodega.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could have gotten some quarters
You know,
and maybe like an ounce too.
when they
Full
walked
logo.
when they walked out of the convenience store with all the stuff for
Most
the
unrealistic
seance.
part of this episode. They went to a convenience store. They weren't offered drugs.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
When they were walking out with a bag, I wanted to be like, hey, what do y'all got in your bag? 35 milliliters of water, 20 kilograms of carbon, 4 liters of ammonia, 15 other trace elements.
Then they would have had proof that God exists.
Yeah.
Fuck. I can't believe. I mean, I can believe, but I am like I love Dean so much. What a fucking rock star to have met multiple ghosts,
Yeah.
which would at least imply that the afterlife exists, and still just be like, I am a hardcore atheist.
For real.
To the point that when my brother, my flesh and blood, admits to me that he prays every day, I'm going to act like Miss Ari Kobler does when she meets a stranger who says that. Like, the way, so Sam says, like, oh, yeah, I pray every day.
Yeah.
And Dean acts exactly like I do, which is, cool.
Okay.
All right. Just like you can't say anything, like as polite as you possibly can be without being like, good. This episode, I was like, I'm feeling me some Dean in this episode because I am a heathen. I'm a dirty
Yeah.
heathen.
And speaking of heathens, here's some factual errors.
Ooh.
There's only one. Wormwood looks nothing like the plant the brothers find.
Yeah, I was
growing
going to
on the
say
grave
that
marker.
wormwood isn't like, it's not a vine like
Yeah,
that.
it's not a wall climbing plant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Catholic church they go to should have been on r/evil buildings.
Yeah.
Because like there's this giant like pan like landscape shot of the church and it's just like, wow, that's an evil building. But it is a Catholic church, so.
I expected Quasimodo to like jump down and be like, oh, hey guys, what's up?
Yeah.
I wrote down, I don't like Sam this episode.
Oh no?
It's not that I don't like him. Like, I don't hate the character now. He's still probably one of my favorites in the show.
Right.
Probably one of my favorites. He might. I don't know. There's only 3 main characters. He might be he might make the list. No, I'm just kidding. No, he definitely does because I really do like his story. But anytime somebody's like, oh yeah, maybe we should let this person die for something they haven't done yet because God wills it. I'm just like,
Yeah.
ooh, that's
a little
morally
crazy.
pretty iffy. Like, I understand he's going through a stressful time right now. He's super stressed out. He's worried he's going to turn evil or whatever. But it's just kind of like, you can't kill people for thought crimes.
Yeah.
It's just rude.
Yeah.
It's just impolite.
That's the ultimate form of privacy.
Privacy, like, violation.
Yeah, violation of privacy.
Yeah.
Because, like, what's more personal than your inner thoughts?
Yeah.
Like, it's not conspiracy to commit murder if you think about doing it. It's conspiracy to commit murder if you talk about doing it with other people.
Or when you make
Yeah.
a plan.
Yeah.
Like, when you make a plan, that's a conspiracy to commit murder.
Yeah. But, like, sure, you can, like...
Which still wouldn't, even by our laws in this country, still wouldn't warrant a death sentence.
Yeah, no.
Right.
First degree murder is that you plan it out and commit it.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
if this guy had, like, made a plan and been caught by the police, he wouldn't have been killed.
That
Yeah.
is totally fine if he was arrested for that. That makes sense.
Yeah. And I mean, it'd be totally, like, the thing that the thing that really shitty about Father Gregory, for example, with the case of the first guy who got killed, who we saw got killed, there's no the people who he buried in his basement disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's never going to kill again. Awesome. Great.
But he never got caught.
He never got caught, so we don't... Like, those women, nobody knows what happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
There's no peace for the families.
No.
There's no justice. That's a big thing in this episode, is justice versus vengeance.
Yeah.
And I think, Father Gregory does not get justice, I don't think.
Yeah, he never
Because justice implies that there's some sort of... My perfect justice is like peace for the people who were wronged.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not going to happen.
Maybe Father Gregory was so inclined to be so vigilant with vigilante justice.
Right.
Because he never got justice for his shitty name.
Yeah, Thomas Gregory.
That's a dumbass. That's
I thought you were going to say, first of all, 2 first names, iffy.
yeah.
It can be done, but 2 first names, iffy.
Yeah, he's no Ricky Bobby.
Sure. He's no Tom Hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have several friends named Hand. Sorry, Tom.
Let me give you a slow
I expected
hand.
you to say not vengeance for the awful name, but vengeance for the fact that he was murdered on his church steps, maybe?
Yeah.
A little bit?
Why was he shot though?
Because it was a rough neighborhood.
It was a rough neighborhood.
It's because
That was
he
it.
had a shitty name.
they were trying to steal his car. Watch the episode, Ben. No, I'm just kidding.
He's a priest. What is he driving?
I know, right? He is not driving
It's
a
not
good
a
car.
mega church. It's an evil church. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
It's not a mega
I
church.
have to say, Father Reynolds is shaping up to be in the favorite, one-time woman contest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was good.
He's definitely in the running.
He walked up and he was like, "May I offer you an egg in this trying time?"
What?
Because his name was Reynolds.
Yeah. Frank Reynolds.
Frank Reynolds.
Yeah, Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito's character. That's a line Danny DeVito says in
Oh!
It's Always Sunny.
It looked like he had a rum ham soaking in the fridge.
Yeah.
He
He looks like he said, "Oh, I dropped my monster condom from my Magnum dog."
Look, it takes a special kind of person to be introduced to the concept of ghosts and just fucking roll with it.
Yeah.
To the point where you save the goddamn day.
Yeah, for real. He did it.
He's the true hero of this
Yeah,
episode.
Reynolds
I really
saved the
liked
day.
Father Reynolds, y'all.
He was the cliche Irish Catholic priest. Like, he probably, moonlights as an exorcist at least one weekend a month.
And you know what? Good for fucking him. All right,
He
those
needs
people,
the extra work.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't like a seance. What the fuck is that? He was like, a seance? Why are you doing this here?
In
Yeah.
the house of God.
Yeah, he says this is the house of the holy.
Yeah.
Hey,
The Led Zeppelin album.
End credits. Or roll credits.
I want to make cuts of Supernatural where anytime they say the word supernatural, it's just put that supernatural, and then it just rolls credits.
I really want you to supercut, like split the word between somebody saying super and natural and make it 2 completely different scenes.
Okay. There's an episode later in the series. Do you know what I'm about to say?
I know what you're about to
There's an
say.
episode later in the series where some shenanigans happen, and basically Sam and Dean don't know they're hunters.
Mm-hmm.
And they run into some supernatural bullshit. And Sam says, this is something not natural is going on.
Oh my God.
Which is very much a Sam, you had one job moment. And that's I think you should do that video where every time they say supernatural, and then it's like a bonus.
Yeah.
Put in that line, please. What if the guy who we never got his name, the near murderer?
Yeah. We know.
I'm gonna call him Dane Cook because he kind of looked like Dane Cook.
No.
I don't know.
Dane
I don't
Cook.
think so.
Okay,
What was he say?
all dark haired men look alike to me.
That's racist.
All dark white men look like to me.
That's even more racist.
I'm all right with it.
Now, his name was Sean Rogerson. He was the male attacker.
Sean Rogerson.
Yeah,
That was the actor's
That's
name.
the actor's name.
That's the actor's name? Oh, God, that's even...
That's worse
Hey,
than Thomas
His
Gregory.
character doesn't have a name.
Make up a fake name. Sean Rogerson.
His character's name is male attacker.
Okay.
Jesus.
Even worse, the actress that was being almost box cuttered to death.
Female attacked.
No, female victim.
Jesus.
Victim. Oh, God.
You gotta know
Brent
you're in.
Fr-
You gotta know you're in for a good time when you're auditioning for the role of female victim.
Ooh, you were in for a ride.
Yeah, I feel like you gotta have a fetish to want to audition for that.
She looks like she's into some weird stuff. The
Oh my God.
The televangelist.
She is a young woman trying to get some work.
Yeah, exactly. But
Rude.
Jesus.
that went exactly how I wanted it to. The televangelist, the actor that plays it, Brent Fiddler.
Brit.
Brent.
Fiddler is a terrible name for any person working in the religious industry.
That is a great
Fiddler.
name.
I get
Fiddler.
it. Fiddler.
Yeah.
Fiddle. Oh. Yeah. All right. Well, Mr. Rogerson, what if...
Will you be my neighbor?
What?
No,
what,
because he used box cutters to stab people.
what if his sin had been going to use a condom?
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what if that had been... What if Father Gregory just doesn't, like, get nuance, and so he's like, all sins are equal. Murdering 3 women and using condoms, same level. That would have been amazing. Look, I would have bought every season of Supernatural, including, like, merch and a fucking hug from both Sam and Dean. Like, just... I would have... If that had happened... I would have died.
You know they should just straight up hug people at conventions, right?
Yeah, that's what they do. They do meet and greet.
have
Yeah.
paid
And
them for
They're
a hug.
adorable. And
I
it's
know.
awesome.
I know a handful of people that
Yeah.
have gone to do that.
Scott's sisters actually met Mark Pellegrino.
That's awesome.
And apparently they met at a bar and he paid for their tab.
Whoa!
For him or his yeah.
Mark Pellegrino, pretty cool dude.
Pretty cool guy.
Pretty cool guy. Mark, if you ever want to be on the podcast, hit us up.
He's busy.
Is he busy?
He's busy being in every television show that exists.
He's busy being a person who's died and then reincarnated later.
He's busy. He's gotta be somebody who's died and then reappeared in another form to a character on the show.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I cannot wait till we get to him.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll stop. I'm stopping.
This at the very beginning of this episode, so because I know like a little bit about what happens.
Yeah, you
going
know,
on.
like angels don't get introduced till season 4.
But so Dean was like, I've never met an angel, and I was like, you got something coming for you, Dean.
Yeah. I wrote down, we're going to be
James Bruce.
fucking one in a couple seasons, so get ready for that. Can we talk about, like, every time, I don't think Ben ever saw me do this, but every time somebody in the episode was like, yes, that's the Archangel Michael, who's a super chill dude.
Yeah.
Just super nice. All angels, I love them. They're great. Every time something like that happened, I turned to Ben and was like,
Look at the warning spoilers, but don't read them aloud.
Well, there you fucking go.
Yeah. And that's
Cut that part
how
out.
the sausage
Okay.
was made.
I also enjoyed the cinematography in this episode.
Yeah, it was real good.
They pulled out all the stops. Good.
Yeah. They did some cool stuff.
Yeah. I particularly like in the last scene when Sam and Dean have their heart to heart, and you know the Manx is ratcheted up and they're crying tears.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the shot. Made it look like Sam was on his knees,
Yeah.
which I thought was very appropriate.
Yeah, Sam was like on a lower position than Dean.
Yeah,
There was a
he's
lot
in
of-
a submissive position. He's like
Well, he
doing
is
his mea culpa.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say what you're about to say.
What?
I don't know, but don't do it.
You do say that he is written female.
That's true. Oh, that's what you were about to say. I take it back. You can continue.
Yeah, that's
It's
the
all
whole
right, sweetie. You
idea.
can
I mean,
talk.
that's how it fits. You know.
It does, yeah. Sam, I think, has a very, like, I've talked about this before, but Sam has a very feminine aspects.
He is written
Yeah.
extremely femme.
He's written pretty, and not feminine like he's girly. Feminine as
But,
in
like,
he hits the beats
Yeah,
that
he
women
hits
usually
a lot of
get.
those feminine tropes.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the beats that women get in stories, he hits those. And actually, I mean, the stereotype is women are more religious than men.
Yeah.
So Sam's, but I don't think they were thinking about necessarily. I don't think they were thinking about any of this.
No.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
I could tell that has like longer reaching plans.
yeah, there's a
It's a lot of death of the author stuff that we go into on this show.
some irony.
Yeah. Hey. Okay.
Yeah. Can we talk about that Final Destination death?
Yeah, that was
The Final
good.
Destination.
Oh.
So Mr. Rogerson. Travis has already talked about it.
Yeah, he gets impaled by a giant pole.
Yeah.
And it was very Final Destination. The pole even like came at the screen. Like if it had been in 3D, everyone would have gone like, and there'd be popcorn everywhere. Do you remember that from like
back when
trailers
3D
of
was first introduced?
like
Yeah.
3D movie trailers where like something would reach out in the screen and then it'd like
People would
it
scream.
would show a shot of people like screaming and someone would like jerk off and their popcorn would fly up.
Yeah.
Like really?
Yeah.
Don't. That's so extra.
It's fucking vaulting
And
everywhere.
it'd be like people fucking reaching out. There was something, I can't remember if it was like a special TV show or a movie that came with fucking smell-o-vision cards.
Oh yeah.
You had to go get your smell-o-vision
Oh,
card.
I remember that.
And it was like scratch off number 1, smell it to get this thing. Man, interactive media is weird.
It is, especially in the the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
Do you remember in kids' movies where they used to be like, okay, kids, put on your 3D glasses.
Yeah.
Now take them
Yeah,
off.
put on your 3D glasses now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I've like back when I went to Universal Studios, I went on a couple of those like 4D rides. Those are strange. Where like the seats move and the like water sprays at you and stuff.
I thought the fourth dimension was smell. That's a bad reference.
It's time.
Anyway,
Time for what? Is it time to stop?
It's time for the fourth dimension.
Yeah.
I saw like Shrek 3 was once advertised as being in 4D, and I was
No,
like,
that's one of the Universal rides. It's a 4D Shrek movie,
oh,
but it's like
true. I mean, I feel
it's like a
like
35-minute short or something. They actually released it like on DVD as its own thing, and they turned it into a 4D ride.
Do you think strip clubs ever considered advertising as 4D?
I think they consider advertising as 40 double Ds. Boom, bitch!
Here we
Wah, wah,
are.
wah, wah.
Boom.
Here we are.
Yeah, so overall, I really fucking like this episode.
This is a really good episode.
This is a really good. Okay, can I just say I appreciate that we get a ghost who's not a total fucking dick.
Yeah.
Actually, I just appreciate that we get any sort of supernatural creature that's not just an asshole.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Because that's
It's rare,
few.
and it's when they do it, it's done well, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, few and far between. We've already
Because-
gotten it once this season. Like, this season's really expanding the definition of like what a supernatural creature can be. They don't all have to be evil dicks.
Yeah.
My only qualm with this episode that it just falls back on, and it's a solid thing to fall back on, but it's used
Ghost.
too much. Nah,
Oh.
that the true monster is man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is another one of those like but isn't it true that man is the real monster? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what else can you go with? I mean, you can't be like, oh, that puppy, it's thinking about killing that baby with cancer. You just can't do that.
But isn't it true that puppies are the real monster.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that puppy is going to kill the baby that has cancer. I'm going to say the puppy is going to use cancer to kill that baby.
I think you're putting down.
I think that's kind of inherent in a lot of like monster-based fantasy and sci-fi.
Right, especially when you want to add some dimension.
Like I actually just finished watching the Super Best Friends playthrough of Nier.
Ooh.
And so, did you watch it?
Yes.
Yeah. So, spoilers for the original Nier.
Yeah, like
It's
if you
kinda
haven't played it now, you're not going to play it.
If you haven't played it now, you're either not going to play it or you should at least watch it.
Yeah.
But like when they start doing ending B.
Oh, yeah.
And you like run through the whole second part of the game as just this incredibly ferocious monster.
Yeah.
Like destroying shades and taking names. But then you're like, oh, I just totally interrupted all these like innocent, basically human lives. And they're like, oh, fuck.
To backtrack a bit, Nier is this Japanese game that has like, what, 30 endings?
4.
Okay, but some of them are a little bit harder than others.
Yeah, because there's A, B, C, and D, and to get C and D, you have to collect every weapon in the game.
God damn.
Yeah.
And there's like, what, 30 of them? I don't know.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
But basically, you find out that you go through the game killing a bunch of monsters, and then you find out that you were the true monster because all those monsters are actually just cool.
Yeah, most of them were innocent.
Yeah.
It's an I Am Legend situation.
Basically, yeah.
Spoiler alert for I Am Legend. Yeah, I mean, I actually am. I just want there to be like a variety of characters.
Yeah.
And I want them to have interesting powers and, dealios. So
Yeah.
I don't mind a little bit of like, man is the true monster-ness, because I know that's a really common way to do it.
It's really common, but there's multiple ways to do it.
There's multiple ways to do it, and like you can keep it pretty fresh. Yeah. Especially if you write characters who like ultimately fight for good but are still flawed or amoral in some way.
Yeah.
I am more annoyed by the fact that it is yet another fucking ghost episode. I'm glad they went in a different direction, but it's still a goddamn ghost.
I think they were throwing a red herring.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and I think we haven't really gotten there yet, and I think...
Well, is this also like foreshadowing for angels in the future?
You have no goddamn idea, sir.
I mean...
Like... I don't mean that in like you are way off base. I mean,
I'm actually right about that.
You have no fucking idea how much foreshadowing went into this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Like
about a year and a half from now, you're going to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. No, when we're watching season 12, you're going to think back to this episode and be like,
fuck.
holy fuck, 10 seasons ago.
Damn.
Yeah.
I will say that...
That's not even like over exaggeration.
Damn.
Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate. It's a very they're about so Supernatural gets very religious.
Yeah.
Not in a
I mean, it almost
like
has
we're trying to
Yeah.
convert you. In a we're about to explore Christian mythology sort of way.
I know there's a whole thing with like Cain and the blade.
But even before that.
Oh, really?
And so they're about to start focusing on the demon aspect, and then it's a short trip from demons into
Of course.
angels. And I think they kind of have to set that up. And also they're setting up a dynamic that's just going to run through the show a little bit further, which is Sam has faith.
Yeah.
And ultimately believes in like a higher good power.
And
Dean does not. And he uses the problem of evil to exemplify this. The problem of evil, exactly what it sounds like.
Evil's a problem.
Yeah. Bad things happen to good people. Good things happen to bad people.
Problem.
Why the fuckery does that happen? If there was a good God / an all-powerful God, he wouldn't let it happen. There, I just summed up the power of evil for you.
Yeah.
And people argue about this. And Sam actually brought up a counter-argument to the problem of evil, which is God's morality is so different from our own that we can't understand his plan.
Yeah.
Which is a very common
and Father Gregory brought it up too.
Oh, it wasn't Sam. It was Father Gregory.
He was like like God's morality and man's morality is so different that you wouldn't even understand.
Yeah, which is a very like you hear that a lot.
Yeah.
It sounds about right. Sounds about right. So yeah. You want to talk about some fangels?
Yeah.
Some fake angels?
What's the deal with that?
I actually couldn't find much, mostly because I didn't really know what to search for.
Like fake angels.
Like I looked up evil angels and I got to a porn site, which felt a little ridiculous because I thought I would have at least gotten to Lucifer first. But what the fuck ever?
You know.
But it's not like fake angels haven't been appearing in media before. We see tons of people sort of convinced to do evil by a pretty face or somebody who seems like they're good. Mm-hmm. We see that in real life with actual religion.
Yeah.
And we see that in real life with legitimately good ideas. But Hamlet has a bit of this. Hamlet, after he meets his dead daddy-o, who his dead dad is like, go kill your fucking uncle.
The ultimate deadbeat dad.
Says, maybe the devil and the devil have power to assume a pleasing shape. Yea, and perhaps out of my weakness and my melancholy, as he is very potent with such spirits, abuses me to damn me. So it's not... We've seen in literature before, like, people, these creatures will appear and they will try to tempt people into doing wickedness by appearing as somebody beautiful or with a good idea.
Right.
We see that in a lot of, old-timey, like, plays, like Dr. Faustus. We see that basically any character that hits the, the ends justify the means.
Right.
Usually they haven't been tempted, but they kind of get into the same vein as this, right? Yes, I murdered 10 billion people, but it was worth it because now, 10 trillion people get to live.
Yeah.
Right?
To go back to Nier, I murdered all these people, but I got my daughter back.
Yeah. There's a Star Trek episode, which also has a lot of Hamlet references in it, called Conscience of a King, where we find out that Kirk, in his past, was on a colony that had a space colony that had a food shortage problem. And the governor who was running the colony, named Governor Kodos, killed 4 million people to save the rest of the colonists.
Right.
So, we get that kind of like, hey, this is a good idea, but the means with which you're doing it are bad.
Right.
It recently in Black Panther, the main villain in Black Panther kind of, falls into that. It's awesome that you want to, liberate these previously oppressed groups, Eric Killmonger, but maybe murderizing with fries everybody shouldn't be the way to do it.
Maybe if your name wasn't Killmonger, you'd do something better.
It was a nickname. But yeah, don't name your kids Killmonger.
But and same with the villain in the first fucking movie.
There's a really excellent in American Gods, Mr. Wednesday has a quote where he says, everybody who I'm misquoting, but the people who wear white hats and the people who wear black hats all think they're wearing white hats.
Right.
Like, truly evil people typically don't think they're evil. Even Hitler probably wasn't twirling his tiny, stupid mustache.
He wasn't going, ha-ha.
Yeah, and trying to be the biggest dick he could. I mean, probably. I don't fucking know.
But in some ways, he was like, yeah, this is the right thing to do.
Yes. We also get a little bit of false prophets.
Yeah.
With this, which have appeared several times in your major Abrahamic
Kingsman,
religion.
that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Mr. Valentine and Kingsman.
Oh, yeah.
His whole thing is he wants to stop global warming, but to do that, he wants to kill
all the poor people.
2/3 of the population.
Right. All the poor people.
All the poor people.
You always run into something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In your grand murder plots. It's always like... And I'm going to do it by killing all the gays. Like, stop. That's where you run into your problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we also get like a bit of a false prophets. False prophets often present a good front while leading people to evil. Don't go into a rambling conversation about cults. Don't go into a rambling conversation about
Don't
cults. But yeah, cults also get this too.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds utopia sounds so good,
It does.
It does.
but who runs it?
Who gets to decide what paradise we go into?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And who gets left out of paradise?
Can we take a tangent for a second?
Sure.
Have y'all ever seen the film 10 Things I Hate About You?
Yes.
Do you remember the Italian-looking guy that pays Heath Ledger to date?
Yes.
Guess what he's doing now?
What?
Is it porn?
No.
Bad Christian movies?
No.
Is he a leader of a cult?
Yes, he is.
What?
Yep.
No.
Google that shit. It's real, dog.
No.
Yeah.
I'll Google it later. That's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, to quote one of the greatest movies of all time, The Emperor's New Groove, often the devil on your shoulder appears saying, don't listen to that guy. He's trying to lead you down the path of righteousness.
Yeah.
I'm going to lead you down the path that rocks.
Did you look up that quote just now?
It's on the Good Angel, Bad Angel page of tvtropes.org.
My God.
Yeah, it's the page quote.
I'm going to lead you down the path that rocks.
I'm going to lead you down the path that rocks. So yeah, short freak of the week, but pretty interesting stuff.
What was that website you wound up on?
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. I will say this. If you are wondering if you were ever visited by an angel, trying to discern whether or not they are a good angel or a bad angel, I have an article for you from howtoexitthematrix.com.
Oh, God.
The article is titled, How to Discern False Angels. I'm just going to read a titch. Recently, I was contacted by somebody who was concerned about the beings that he was channeling. They claimed to be archangels, and yet these beings were untruthful, manipulative, and occasionally even malicious. They even gave him unwanted attunements. This was not the first time I've encountered false angels. Several years ago, I had my own experience with them. I was meditating with a group of light workers when two false angels appeared on the astral plane. They grabbed hold of my hand and pulled me through a wormhole. It happened so quickly I was disoriented, and yet I sensed we were moving interdimensionally. I'm going to say this, before you read this article, take a quick gander out into the world, find an article titled, How Do I Tell Whether or Not the Angels I'm Seeing Are Real? Read that first.
It might have been the acid you just drank.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Or the kombucha.
It might have been a dream, man.
So
Yeah.
like
It could just be,
Maybe you have the flu and it's a fever dream.
yeah.
I like believe in ghosts and stuff.
Yeah.
But angels are too
But
much for
no,
you.
no. So here's the thing, like
Oh, I didn't realize we had Dean Winchester on it again.
We're drawing lines?
I don't have the time to like sit around and try to like interact with ghosts. What are these people doing to like discover fake archangels on an astral plane
Yeah.
and get sucked through a wormhole? Like, is it a meditation state? What do they do?
They watch too much Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Yeah.
Because they have so much free fucking time.
Do they have crystals to go along with this?
Yeah.
I goddamn guarantee
It's
they
a
do.
crystal meth.
Someone was sharing this post, like this
Articles?
post started going
Okay.
around on Facebook again. That was a screenshot of something like, what's a good crystal to banish someone with? It was like any of them if they're big enough.
I've seen that. That's good. Okay, so I just have to share with you guys the ads on this website. Numerologist. Your name is no accident. See why the shocking truth in numerology chart cannot lie to you.
Wait a goddamn second. Did you just say numerologist?
Numerologist.
Is
yeah.
that? I thought it was numberologist.
No.
Numero. Yeah.
Numerologist is for names. Numberologist is what I call math teachers.
And then hold on, I have to read through the rest of these ads, guys. Michelle Walling, certified holistic life coach.
Nice.
The result, click here. Dr. Joe Vital, combining Ho'oponopono and the law of attraction.
The lolly lule low?
HO apostrophe OPONO P-O-N-O.
Oh, that's
and
a
look,
mouthful.
What the
that
fuck?
might be a word. It should not be a word over a white dude's face. Okay? This guy looks like he should be telling me whether or not I have cancer in my asshole.
This
Not
straight
telling
up,
me what Ho'opono means.
This is some like white people bullshit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I just scrolled down further down the article. Here's how you tell what a real angel is. They're positive. Always leave you feeling uplifted.
Okay.
They're loving. Angels absolutely adore us because they haven't met any other species yet. Giving. Each of us have guardian angels who protect, love, heal, nurture, and guide us. Beautiful. Whether you can see them with your physical eyes or your third eye, they're always beautiful. Respectful. Angels adhere strictly to the law of free will. They cannot interact with you unless you ask for their help. Empowering. They encourage and help you to your own power. Spiritual. Angels are connected to source/divine light. They are not associated with man-made organizations or religion.
You know, maybe I can't see angels because my trifocals are still in the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, my third eye is blind, so. And I still didn't make a shitty band about it.
So
Are
here's
you
the thing.
leading that
You're
semi-charmed,
welcome.
that
Here's the one
semi-charmed
thing.
life?
The one thing that bothers me about that description of angels is the beautiful.
Yeah.
Because like even through the Bible, and even this was quoted in the episode, like the angels appeared to people and the people are terrified.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
angels
And
are
maybe-
goddamn scary.
Well,
And maybe they are beautiful, but they are also what I would probably describe as like Lovecraftian, undescribable beings.
I mean, I don't believe in angels, but like, when I think of them and I think of like a true angel definition, like not like a precious moments angel, I think of like
Not a life.
awful in the sense that they inspire awe,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
not necessarily like beautiful or comforting.
There's one
And they
descriptive...
may be able to appear to us as a beautiful being, but you know their true forms would not be.
Well, according to howtoexitthematrix.com, I guess they get away with saying angels are beautiful because angels are connected to the source/divine light. They're not affiliated with man-made organizations or religions.
Also,
Except Scientology.
they love us because they haven't met any other species yet. Like angels haven't met dogs.
that was my little thing.
Oh,
that
okay.
was that was my dig.
I was like, angels haven't met dogs. Dogs are great.
Angels absolutely adore us, which seems fake, but okay. They are nurturing, caring, kind, and compassionate, and completely devoid of ego.
I get it now.
Which seems impossible.
I get it. Angels are dogs.
I believe that.
Okay, I believe in angels.
I finally get it. They're
It all
talking
makes
about
sense.
dogs.
It all makes sense. So yeah, howtoexitthematrix.com.
I'd rather read How to Enter the Matrix, mainly because I don't understand how Cypher got back in.
I don't know, man. I just
You know,
this seems like some bullshit.
can we take a Matrix tangent right quick?
No,
No.
It's really quick. It's about the character Switch.
sure. Okay.
Because in the comic book that the Matrix is based
Oh
on,
my God.
I don't remember what it's called, but Switch is an actual character from the comic book, and the idea was that they were trans. Like out of the Matrix, they were supposed to be, let's say, a dude, but in the Matrix, they were supposed to be a woman,
Okay.
and like it was supposed to be a big whole thing, but they cut it out because they thought that was too. Like,
The Wachowski sisters disagree with you.
Yeah.
did they both? Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought it was just okay.
Dodge Lana. Nope. The other Wachowski sibling came out a couple years ago.
All right, you can take my Wachowski, but you can't take my, I don't know, my belief in the comic book. I don't know where I was going with that joke.
I'm going to tell you how these people from howtoexitthematrix.com have time to meditate and follow false angels through space and time.
How's that?
Starbucks.
They are charlatans who have a fake job selling not real things to people.
Oh, so it's BuzzFeed.
Okay.
Like these are the psychics, the palm readers, the I can see into your past lives, the let me sell you some dried goat testicle to cure your cancer.
I honestly
Kids
don't-
don't need vaccines, people. Yeah, you know what? I don't put my faith in God or crystals or people who've followed fake angels through space. I put my faith in Father Reynolds.
Yeah.
What a good guy.
I put my faith in cold, hard Bitcoin.
Cryptocurrency, my friends. It's
well,
the
I've got
future.
bad news about that.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if you've seen John Oliver's piece on it.
Is Bitcoin dead?
Yeah. Especially by the time this episode comes out, it'll be super dead.
Just like garlic coin.
Yeah. Oh,
Travis, buddy,
What?
pal,
What?
friendo,
what?
Guy.
comrade.
What?
Padre.
Are you ready?
Am I ready?
The next episode is called Born Under a Bad Sign. Ooh. What's it about, my friend?
Sam and Dean are going to go to a house and they're going to meet a family.
On the rising sun.
No.
Oh.
They're going to meet a family who they've been living there like generations and generations and generations of people have been living in this house, and it's about to get torn down because they want to put an overpass there. And so they're like, we're not going to sell our property, but they have already started construction on the overpass, and there's like a giant road sign over this house, and it's called the Bad Overpass.
Why not just like have the overpass go over the house?
That'd make too much sense.
Right. Is this Mousetrap?
My gosh.
I was gonna do up, but I was like, nah.
That would be amazing.
I'll just make it like weird and esoteric instead of trying to go for a reference this time.
I mean, that also felt like that episode of Hey Arnold where like Stinky's family wouldn't sell the house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
show-
amazing and not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But what does happen
We'll find out.
Next time.
on Hey Assbutt? For how hot girls are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Girls are great.
Girls, guys, girls are great.
Girls are pretty fucking rad.
Girls are, first things first, girls are rad. So jot that down.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there's anything we want you to take away from this podcast, it's that women pretty amazing.
Pretty amazing.